Hi everyone. So in the last video we studied about the return type functions and we even tried a few examples. So today also we will follow with that and go with some examples and we will go for a little more complex thing, not much complex, little more complex functions, and see how things work. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is because I was in the last video I was telling you that I showed you how we can have an adder function, and I also asked you to do multiplier and subtractor and also division function, and also I asked you to do a string value returning function, right? A function that is returning a string value and print the value. I asked you to do it. So I don't know how many of you did it, so I hope you have done that. So I will have a look on this, how this string function works, because I had a look on the integer function earlier, because we did the adder, right? So let's write a function that can return a string value, right? So since we are, so let's say a function that's going to return something like this, a string values that say hello everyone, right? Hello everyone. Okay, so since this function is going to return this hello everyone, we know the type of the hello everyone, it is string. Okay, the data type of the return statement, right? So anyway, so the function return type is going to be string, so you can guess it or understand it from your common sense. Okay, and let's say how we can name this function, greeter. Okay, the function that greets people, right? Greeter. So otherwise say do greet, that means do a greeting. Okay, so you know how to write a function, I have told you already. So let me remove this hello everyone thingy. Okay, so you know where to write the function. So this follows the format, right? So this function return type, function name, and two brackets and the curly braces. So what I'm telling you is, if you don't understand what I'm doing, please go watch the previous videos in the function and come back to this video. Otherwise you will not understand what is happening here. So because you should be knowing, then only you should be knowing why I'm writing the function here outside, and then what is this string means, this return type, what is this thing, what is this open curly brackets, then only you will understand, right? So this function is going to say, so to make things step by step and very simple, what I will do is, first I will say, and I'll talk about an integer variable, string variable. So let's have a string variable, let's say x. Okay, and I will assign this statement to x. So let's say hello. Hello, oh my god. Okay, hello everyone. So you know how to write a string and how to assign it to a variable. We have studied it already, right? Okay, so then what you have to do, very simple, you have to return that x value. So I already said to you guys about this return statement and everything. It is not a void function, it's a return statement function, so we should be returning something using the return keyword, right? So then that data type of the returned value should be the function's return type, string. So then only things will be compatible, otherwise you will get compile time errors. So if you don't understand these things, please go watch previous videos and come back to the video, otherwise it will be a mess to you. Okay, so this function is completely good. So it is going to return this string value hello everyone. So what I will do is, I will, in the void loop, I will create another string. I can give the same name as x, because those are local variables within the each block, because this x is the local variable for this function block, and also this x is the local variable for this void loop block. So that will not make any harm, but still I will give a name as s, so that no confusion will occur for the reader. Okay, and for x is, what should I do? I have to call that function, right? So I hope you all understand what I am talking about, because this thing also I told you, because since it's a return type function, we call the function and we assign the return value to a variable. I told about this already, right? So then what I do is, I am going to serial print this value. Yes, so I'm just doing it because I hope you might have done this earlier from the previous video, because I asked you to do it. So I hope you have done this. So I will serial print ln. Yes. Sorry. So it's very simple, right guys? So is there any steps you don't understand here? So maybe I will have the serial beginning, the serial void setup, because that is very important. Serial dot begin. Okay, begin what? $9,600. Okay, So what actually will happen is void setup will come and do the serial begin stuff. That means it will go to Arduino and tell it I'm going to do a serial communication in 9600 bit rate or byte rate or whatever. So we are going to send 9600 bits or bytes per second, I guess, I don't know, per transaction, something like that. Okay, I just don't remember. Okay, so and also you're asking the user, I mean computer, we will set to be 9600 in the serial monitor, because then only he will be able to receive 9600 bits at a time. Okay, then only the data will be going without any damage. It's obvious, right? So let's not worry about that. I have told about those things in the previous videos already. So in the void loop, what I do is I simply assign the string, declare a string value, data type, right? String s is equal to hello world, like that. String s is equal to, what is this? This is a value, because this is returning a value. So what is the value? Hello world, hello everyone. So the same thing I have done. I have called the function, and since the function is returning a value, I am assigning it to a variable, and I display the variable value. Very simple, right? And also the function definition I am having here. So simple. Okay. So and one more thing I want to, so if you have this content, understand this content, and then you will understand what is happening here. So since it's a return type, we have to assign. If it is a void type function, we don't have to assign it to a variable. We just have to call the function. So I told you all these things. So very clear, right? So yes, okay, fine. So now what I will do is I will delete this, because I have asked you to do it in home as a homework. So I hope you might have done that. Okay. So before I delete, I want to tell one more thing. So just try to understand what I am trying to tell. Instead of this assigning it to x, okay, this hello everyone, what you can do is you can directly also return it. Okay, how do you return it? Like this. You can do it. Okay, that's also totally fine. Okay, even number also you can return like that for an integer function. Okay, so but since this may make confusion to you, so that's why I used a variable and return the variable, right? If you don't understand, just forget about this and go for the variable method. Int x is equal to hello, string x is equal to hello everyone, and returning x. Okay, so I will remove it. Okay, so I hope now you were able to understand what I asked you to do earlier, right? So now you are good to return a string value using a function, and you can display the value if you want. And also you are good to return an integer value using a function inside the void loop, and you can assign it to a variable, and you can serial print or whatever. You can do something with the variable. Okay, so those things are clear to you up to now. Okay, so then what I am going to do now is, let's do a bit of complex function, right? So let's have a function that is a return type function. That means the function is going to return something, but inside the function, that function is going to display also. Okay, do some display business also. Okay, so what we should do is first let's not do the display. We will write the void loop, and we will write a little bit complex return function. So yeah, okay, we can display. Okay, no problem. Okay, so what I will do is I will write a return type function that can also do some work also before returning. Okay, so let's say the function will display something, serial print something, and then return a value. Okay, so this void functionality is also there, so it's going to do something and also return. Okay, you understand? So what is the doing thing? So you are going to display let's say a text, and also you are going to return a value. Very simple, right? So it's like you are sweeping your room, cleaning your, you are arranging your book and going to the shop and buying something. So your mother is telling, do what you are supposed to do. So then you are arranging the book and going there and buying the things. So if you don't understand, just forget about the example. It was in the previous videos. So I will just do, then you will understand. Okay, so what I will do is I will write an integer type function. Okay, first we will see this. What is the task? So the first thing is the function is going to say, I am gonna this is your age. The function is going to calculate your age. So function will display, this is your age. Okay, this is your age. And what this function will take is, the function will take a random year. Okay, consider a random year as your birth year. Actually we should get that birth year from the user, okay, as a parameter. But since we didn't study about using parameters in the function, we are just assuming user is entering a age, a birth year, let's say 95. Okay, 1995. Okay, 1995. So we'll hard code this value, and then let's say now it is 2021. We are going to return that person's age. What's that? We are going to return the person's age. Okay, so that means we are going to do a calculation. What is the calculation? How to return a person's age? From the current year, we are subtracting their birth year. Okay, so this will give you what is the result? 26. Got it? So this is what I am going to do. So I have to first display this text. So I am not going to display it directly in the void loop. I am going to write it inside the function and call the function, and the void loop is supposed to do it. Okay. So, and also I am going to return the age. So that printing, the age printing, I will write inside the void loop manually. Okay. So you will understand while I am doing it. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. Then what I will do is let it be as a comment. So no harm will happen. First I will write a function. Let's say age, calculate age. So I will say, so I'm going to return age, right? So it's a number, right? So it is an integer, right? Common sense. So the function should be an integer return type function. It's common sense, right? We are going to return. So how to find a function return type? We are going to ask what is we are going to return? Age. So then using our common sense, we will find what is age. It is an integer. It's a number. It's an integer, right? Okay. That's fine. So we will say get age. Okay. And you know typically how to write a function and function body. Okay. So I'm going to take this year 1995 as a hard coded value. Okay, nothing to worry. So I will write a variable because it will be very easy to you. Int, okay, birth year, right? So you can give a name as X, or otherwise you can give a name as birth year as well. No problem. It's just a name, right? So I will give the name as birth year so that it makes sense. It can be X as well. No problem, right? So birth year is equal to 1995. Actually, I am telling again, this should be passed through this function, but from the user. But since we are not studying about, we didn't study yet about this passing parameters to the function. So whatever I am going to do is I am trying to hard code this year, as 1995. Okay, so you can have it as X as well if it is confusing you. No problem. Index. Okay, then you know the current year, so you are going to calculate the age. So you will say int age. Okay, int age, no. So I will use the keyword a. Okay, int a is equal to, what is the value? Your current year, you know it's 2021, and you will subtract 1995 from the 2021. So you know that a will be anyway 26. Okay, 27 or 26, 26, right? 26. Then what are you supposed to do? You are return the age. So a is the age, right? So you are return a. So you can use this same name as well, birth year, age, for this what do you call function variables. Variables, but sometimes you will try to find the meaning of it. Okay, birth year has a meaning, age has a meaning. Then you may feel like it's a keyword. So you may get confused. That's why I'm trying to use. It happens with me because I don't like to use a meaningful function variable names. But actually, you should write meaningful variable names. But since we are learning and trying to study, so I want to make things easy. So I'm just using some X and A businesses, because since you are familiar with this X and A in your algebraic mathematics, maybe in your school times. Okay. So I'm going to return A. Okay. So I forgot to do something. So this part is done, right? So this part is done. Before that, I want to print this is your H. Yes or no? I should say. So how to print? I will say serial dot println. Okay. Println whatever this thing. Okay. So we'll write, what's that? This is your age. So I will write since there's not enough space, I will just write this is age. Okay, right. So you'll have semicolon here. Okay. So you may wonder, so serial println is here, so why don't we have serial begin 9600? The problem is we are writing the serial begin inside the void setup itself. So when the function is called inside the void loop, we have already said serial begin, please start the serial begin, initiate the serial begin with 9600. So when the function is being called, since we are going to use it in the void setup, the serial begin has been already stated, already run inside the void setup. Okay, so we don't have to rewrite it again inside the function. It's enough if we are using the serial call the function here. It's enough. Serial println will work because serial begin we have already said inside the void setup. Understood what I'm telling? Because we are going to call the function inside the void loop. Okay, anyway, after this line only, this is going to be implemented, so no problem, right? Serial println only itself will be enough. Okay, you understand what I'm telling? So then you can see there are two things in the function. One thing is this function is going to do something like a void function, but it is not a void function because it's going to return something. Okay, so void function means not only it's doing something, but also it doesn't return anything. So void function means the function that is not returning anything. You understand? So since it is returning, it is a return type function. It is not a void function. Okay, so anyway, it also have a part where it does something else. So it is not a problem. It can do something else, or it cannot do. It may not do something else. It may do something else. It may not be doing something else. It is depending on your purpose. You can do some other things also inside the function. But if it is returning something at the end, then it's a return function. You understand? So anyway, so we have two things: serial println and returning. And since it is returning something, I am going to assign it to a variable. There's no question on that. Okay. So which variable I am going to assign? An integer variable. Okay. So what I will do is, I will say int. Okay, so let's have a value I. Let's say I. Okay, so that is the age you are going to have. You can even have age, no problem, right? I get age. So you know how to call the function. So here, please note this: get age. If you are calling and assigning the function like this, okay, please remember everything inside the function will be implemented, and the return value only will be assigned to integer I. Okay, so I made a small mistake. So please remember about this. Okay, don't think since it is being assigned, this serial println will not happen. No, not like that. Serial println will happen. Only this returning value. So the assigning is only concerned with the returning value. Okay, concerned with the return value. So please assign the return value to I. That is the meaning of this. Please implement the function, and if the function is, since the function is returning something, please assign the function to the variable. That is the meaning of this. So first word is please implement the function. So while this function is being implemented, we will print this is age, serial print it, and then the a will be assigned to I. So then here I will again print serial println I. You understand what I'm doing? Maybe we can have a small delay so that you can see it is being printed, or if you don't want, we don't have to have a delay. So what will happen? Please remember this: void function, the concept is different. Void function, you are just calling the function and you shut up. You don't assign anything. Here you calling the function in the same line you are assigning the function to a variable because the function is returning a value. So but another thing to note is what? Before returning the value, the function is doing something else also. So you may get confused. Don't get confused. So this line means, okay, so you can remember like this. This line, if you assign a function to this line, that means first implement the function. Okay, that means first call the function, first do whatever the function is supposed to do, and in the last line the function is going to return something, and at that point only assign the return value here. So here, so what will happen when you call the function will run. So whatever we said will be done here. So serial println will happen. This will serial printer, this is age, and then it will do the calculation, and only the returning value only it will assign to I. So for that purpose only we have done everything in a single line. But two things will happen: you have to do whatever inside the function, and you have to assign the return value to that I. So in the previous examples, we only did the returning statement. We didn't do anything, only just return. So that is why I didn't give you this explanation. Okay. So you may wonder, when the function is being called and assigned, how can this happen? That's why I said it is happening in two steps. Do everything inside the function, and at the last line we are doing a returning statement. Please assign the return value to the I. That is the meaning of the line number 7. Gotcha? Very clear, right? Then you simply serial println I. So just for my purpose. So what will happen is, first serial println this age. Okay, so this is age will be serial printed in your serial monitor. This is age. Okay, it will say this is your age, so not your age. this is age will be printed. Okay, because the function is going to do it. And then what will happen? The function will return the value age value 26 to the I at the same time, and then we are printing this I. So it will be like this is age in the first line, and the next line it will be 26 will be printed. You understand? So the outcome will be like this for okay, I will tell like this. And then okay, so forget about the colors. Okay, think everything is same color. Then what will happen? Void loop will again run. So again the same scenario will happen. So these two lines will again repeat. This is age 26. So this is going to keep repeating forever since void loop is running. So just don't worry about that. Since we have done it one time, that's enough for us. Okay, so I hope it is understandable. But so today we studied a very important thing. So regarding the usage of the function, that means inside the return function, you can also do whatever you want before returning a value. Okay, before returning a value, you can do anything you want. You can display blah blah blah. You can do whatever you want. Everything is fine. And also remember, return statement. For the moment, remember, return statement should be the last line of the function. That means the code will not go beyond the return statement. Okay, that means if you are writing the return statement in this next line, in here, the code will not go to these lines, the next lines. Okay, so that will give you a compile time error, and also it will say these codes are in a place where we can't reach, the program cannot reach the code. Okay, like that, that will give you so many, that may give you so many compile time errors. Okay, so that means whenever the return statement is coming, status statement is coming, the function will stop there, finish its work. Function will think, okay, I am done. This is the last line, like that. So that is why whatever we want to do, we do first, and then finally we are giving the return statement. Okay, you understand what I'm telling? So return statement means the function is going to stop. The function say, okay, I'm done, and I'm going to return something. So if you write some other lines beyond this, some serial blah blah blah, you will get errors because function will say, man, I'm done because return statement has come already. Okay, why are you writing code after that also inside me? It will ask like that. You got it? So we studied two important things: how we can write a function with return function to do something else, and also do a return value. Okay, that is one thing. And I also explained you how this when you are assigning, how it is happening in two steps, and what are the two steps I explained you. And also then I explained the return statement should be the end of this function or last line of the function, because whenever the return statement comes, the function will stop. Function will think, okay, I'm done. You cannot write anything beyond that. Okay, so I mentioned about this main 2 points. So if you don't understand, just rewatch the video and try to grab the thing, because I'm not going to repeat it forever. Okay guys, so if you have any question, please ask in the comment, and you can take a look at the code, or you can copy the code if you want. Nothing wrong. I made a mistake, so I will retype it anyway. What I was doing, guys, void loop. So just for the guys to refer, other guys can quit because I'm just finishing once I typed it. So if you want to use the code, just refer it here. So what I did is I said int I is equal to get age. Since the return type is int, I am saying int I. Okay, and then I am serial printing the int I value. So I will copy this here and paste it. Serial print I. I'm a bit scared to delete because sometimes I find everything is getting deleted. Okay guys, so this is all I did. So you can copy this code, use for your purpose, but try to understand what I have done. Rewatch the video if you want. Okay guys, so thanks guys, thanks for watching it, and please consider subscribing us so that you can be updated with the upcoming videos, and press the bell button so that you can be notified and whenever I upload the video. And thanks guys, I will meet you in the next video. Until then, have a great day ahead. Stay safe.